Hey guys, Big Tuna here, and today we're going to be talking about the new incoming class tunings coming this Tuesday, May 27th. You know how we do it, we're simply just going to go over the healer tunings and give my thoughts and opinions about how I think they will affect those healers. So first up, we actually have Preservation Invoker. Living Flame healing increased by 30%, Spirit Bloom healing increased by 20%, and Echo base healing increased by 100%, only affects the raw healing and not how strong the copied spells are. Really nice. The Echo one is kind of whatever. It'll feel like a better global depress because Echo itself is going to do more healing, but not really going to affect your throughput at all. Living Flame and Spirit Bloom, that's a very big percentage to two of your main heals. I would have maybe liked to see a sneak in of 15% to Dream Breath, or maybe even Verdant Embrace. I don't think that Verdant Embrace buff, the previous blue post, was not nearly enough. But I would have liked to see something else, be it Dream Breath or Verdant Embrace. Maybe even Reversion as well, because their hots are really bad. But I do think Living Flame and Spirit Bloom are a great start, and two great spells to start off with when it comes to buffing skills by really big numbers, like 20%, 30%. So I give that a thumbs up. Still, Preservation Invoker is that healer with the most casualties, not even counters, just literal casualties. They have just so many issues, core problems that I don't think will get fixed anytime soon. I really hope they do get fixed this season because it's really holding them back. I mean, limited range. You hear C-Dude talking about just how miserable Preservation Invoker is, regardless of how much healing it can do currently and with future buffs. So yeah, I do think these buffs are, a nice big thumbs up. And a good start, too. Holy Paladin. Lightsmith, Blessing of the Forge, healing increased by 15%, and Lightsmith, Hammer, and Anvil, healing increased by 20%. So, Blessing of the Forge one's interesting. Blessing of the Forge is your capstone talent. This will echo the effects of your Holy Power spenders. So, for the healing side of things, Word of Glory will just do additional direct healing with the Blessing of the Forge, and with Light of Dawn, it'll do an AoE heal. So it's really nice and powerful when you combine it with the Word of Glory and the Imperial Legacy. The Blessing of the Forge will echo the Word of Glory and also echo the Light of Dawn for the AoE healing. So a lot of healing. 50% is simply just going to amplify that healing even more. And hell, if you get two Blessing of the Forge Sacred Weapons out there through your Avenging Crusader and your Awakening Wings, I mean, that's just a lot of healing. So buffing that by 15%, I don't think it was needed, but I'll take it. Hammer of Anvil is definitely needed. I don't know if 20% is enough, though. This is very low in your charts. Initially, when this got buffed, I mean, this was like in your top 4 breakdown. Now, it's at the bottom, and I mean at the bottom. It's just one of those skills that didn't scale well with the new season, so hopefully this gets some love. 20% I don't think is enough, and if it's not enough, you can always buff it by more, or maybe even change the way it procs. I mean, it procs off of Judgment Critical Strikes, but when are you really critting Judgments? It's pretty low, especially because you don't really run that much crit on Holy Paladin anymore. So yeah, the only times you're going to get Hammer and Anvil value is when you have an Awakening Wings available. So yeah, hopefully there's some more stuff done to Hammer and Anvil. I would have liked to see some Herald of the Sun buffs, specifically to stuff like Sun's Avatar, because that is also the same as Hammer and Anvil, where it's very low and very weak, and I'm pretty sure it's still bugged. So yeah, would have liked to see something with that done as well, but I think these are nice. Coming down here, I don't believe there's anything else up here. we do have a shaman stuff here, but all these are not applied in PvP combat. They're really good buffs, but hey, they're good buffs, so let's not apply them in PvP combat. I would really like to see the developer notes on this to just see why they decided to go this route. Because Forest here sucks in both PvP and PvE, so why not have these buffs affect both areas of World of Warcraft content? No idea. The one that is affected through PvP is this one. High bubble lasts for 15 seconds, was 10 seconds. Simply just going to make it so your highest bubble deteriorates slower because it lasts longer. So nothing really too impactful there. Resto Druid, a nerf that does not concern it, but it's still funny that it kind of got copped with the little nerf because of the boomy one-shots that have been happening recently. So, yeah, it has no effect on Resto Druid at all. Priest. Power Word Radiance healing is no longer reduced by 10% in PvP combat. That's great. And Ultimate Penitence damage and healing increased by 35% in PvP combat. So the Radiance one is nice. Just removing the 10% nerf in PvP I think is great. Maybe would have liked to see something done with like the mana cost maybe, but I think that's probably stretching it too much. But yeah, Radiance has kind of gotten the treatment over the years of just simply being a atonement bot, just applying atonement, nothing else. Healing of it has kind of been shafted for a while now, so hopefully this will kind of make Powered Radiance feel a lot better. And the Ultimate Penitence one, I hope will do good justice, because 35% is not a small number at all, and currently Ulti Penitence feels really weak for offense. I mean, I don't even have to ground it or really prioritize kicking it anymore, because when it goes off, it's like you line it, but even if I didn't line it, it's just like my team's health doesn't really go down at all. And when it comes to the enemy team's safety, it feels like they're not safe with Ultimate Penitence, because it's either not hitting them or it's hitting me, and it's just simply doing no healing, no atonement healing. So it's gotten really awkward this season with Ultimate Penitence compared to how it was in Season 1. So hopefully the 35% buff really does make this a pretty threatening and also real good defensive cooldown. Shaman. Earth Shield healing increased by 20% in PvP combat. Great. You factor in stuff like Earth and Harmony. Yeah, Earth Shield's going to be doing some major healing. Earth Living Weapon healing increased by 20% in PvP combat. That's great. You factor in stuff like Totemic, where for Farseer it's not going to matter a whole lot from Totemic. You combine stuff like Whirling Elements Earth, combine that with an Unleash Life, so your chain heal can hit an additional target. You have improved Earth Living Weapon, so your Earth Living Weapon will get 150% benefit through your mastery. And so that's 5 Earth Living Weapons out there that are all being buffed through your mastery by 150% through improved Earth Living Weapon. That's a lot of Earth Living Weapon healing. And currently that can hit for like upwards to almost 400k. So it's some pretty gnarly heal over time healing. So being buffed by 20% is quite nice. Healing Rain increased by 15%, so if you're Farseer, yeah, press Healing Rain, why not? And Totemic, Certain Totem healing increased by 15%. I'm not sure if this will combine to be 30%, because obviously Healing Rain and Certain Totem are 2 different skills. And, but I don't think it would, because if I don't know. I feel like it should combine, but I don't really want to get my hopes up, but we'll just say that Totemic Surgeon Totem is getting buffed by a good number. Yeah, the healing of Surgeon Totem is going to be much higher. And it's really good, because I'm glad it's finally getting some buffs, because you play Totemic and you really realize the star of Totemic is not actually Surgeon Totem, which is the main skill of Totemic. No, it's actually Healing Stream Totem, the reactivity. Having Healing Stream Totem affect another target is just so much healing. And even if you were to play a full Surgeon Totem build with Oversurge, Pulse Capacitor, Rain Dance, Healing Stream Totem would still be neck and neck with Surgeon Totem. It doesn't matter that you don't have the supportive imbuements, 2% extra healing with the extra 3 seconds duration on your Healing Stream Totem. Does not matter. Healing Stream Totem will still be neck and neck with your Surgeon Totem. It's kind of ridiculous. So I'm finally glad that they're actually buffing Surgeon Totem healing, because it's been pretty minuscule for a while now. And probably the biggest one of all, Lively Totems now cast a free chain heal at 150% effectiveness in PvP combat. Keep in mind, chain heal was already in my top 4 breakdowns almost every single time. That's without me actually hard casting chain heal. I'm speaking this in an RBG setting. In Arena, it doesn't really matter, because it's always going to, that's not hitting the max targets and whatnot, whatever. But in an RBG setting, this was already like my 3rd or 4th in my breakdown, without me ever actually hard casting a single chain heal. And when I do hard cast chain heals, it goes up to like number 2. So the fact that your Lively Totems are going to be buffed to 150%, that's going to be more than your actual hard casted chain heals, that's kind of insane. So you're taking into account also Totemic Coordination, I believe is what it's called, that buffs your lively totem chain heals by 25%. Also, your totemic rebound chain heals by 25%. So 175% increased certain totem or lively totem healing, if I'm not mistaken. That's pretty gnarly healing. So hopefully the math is not wrong. And hopefully these buffs will make Resto Shaman feel a lot better. Still, like Presvoker, has some core issues. Your cooldowns are pretty weak. Earthen Wall, Healing Tide, Spirit Link would have maybe liked to see something done with Earthen Wall most out of all your cooldowns. But that requires a bit of brain power that is not really required to make tunings to your comment skills like this. You know, tuning your cooldowns does require a bit of brain work. But overall, I think these buffs are nice. Totemic Resto Shaman kind of made out like a bandit, as well as Preservation Invoker got some nice love there. The Resto Druid side cop of the nerf is kind of funny. And then Disc Priest obviously catching a nice 10% unnerf on your Radiance. And Holy Paladin just going to be doing some more burst healing with Lightsmith is going to be quite nice. So I don't think this will shake up the meta too much. You might see some Presvoker be played a little bit more often. Don't think they'll be meta though. Holy Paladin is only just going to get better. It's already really nice because it's in a spot where if other healers get nerfed, it's simply just going to rise up because it's already pretty good right now. So the fact that itself got buffed is, I mean, that's, Holy Paladin's going to come up. Trust me. Resto Shaman, maybe now Arena Totemic might shine through, especially with how much a certain totem is going to be healing forward and how much your chain heals heal for. But nonetheless, the Earth Shield and the Earth Living are kind of neutral for Farseer and Totemic. So I think Shaman will definitely probably move up a spot above its fellow struggling healers. But one can hope. But what do you guys think about these buffs? Do you think they're good? Do you think they're bad? What do you guys want to see in the next blue post for our healers?